This is Cody's Bait and Tackle, Warsaw, Missouri. Again, I look back on some of my comments on some past videos I made talking about shad. I've had all kinds of people, even a couple of the guides, could not catch shad this week. This is the biggest thing during the winter time. Shad are going to do one of two things. And it depends on where you're at on which one they're going to do. So everybody thinks it's wintertime. All the shad are going to go deep. Yes and no. In areas, they're going to go deep. Some areas, they're not going to go deep. The biggest thing I think that decides this is what kind of current that area has. The main lake on Truman, where there's not hardly any current at all, them shad are going to be deep. This last week while I was crappie fishing, I seen shad down 50, 60 foot deep in the channel. The shad I caught this week on the big end of Truman was, I would say they was on bottom in probably 40, 45 foot of water. Massive schools, you can't miss them. Throw one time, can't hardly pick your net up as long as you got a tape net with plenty of rope on it. Biggest thing, I watch guys try to throw with one rope and catch that bait. It ain't going to happen. That net, if you even let your rope get remotely tight, that's closing that net up. That net has to be able to fall as free as it can fall to catch that deep bait. So that's where you're at on the big end of Lake of the Ozarks, big end of Truman. Honestly, I don't never fish the big end of Lake of the Ozarks. I did hear the bait was deep down there just like the big end of Truman. I don't know that, but I would say that's probably right. As far as the upper end of Lake of the Ozarks, I fished down to about the 40-mile marker on Lake of the Ozarks. That's about the furthest I go down. There's been a lot of current down there. They've been running the heck out of water this last week. The week it got cold, they ran the heck out of water. So that's going to take all them shad that would be deep out in the channel, and that's going to push them as far away from that current as they can get. Where's the furthest you can get away from the current? In the very, very back end of the creeks. I've seen it time and time again. I've seen them shad push so far up in some of them creeks when they're running a lot of water that you can see them. You get up in the creek far enough, the water turns clear, like up in Coal Camp Creek and Deer Creek. They'll be in the deeper little pockets up in the clear water that might only be 3 or 4 or 5 foot deep. I've seen them like that just where the bottom's black with shad. This week when them two guides went down there, I think the very back ends might have still had some ice in them. Well, all them shad was up under that ice, I'm sure of it. You know, that they cut that water back a little bit, them shad will come back out, but most of them are going to be up in them creeks. Guaranteed yesterday, I caught bait off the bank, no issue. I threw a couple of times. Once I finally hit them, I couldn't hardly pick my net up. And they was shallow. So they're there. Graph, that's the biggest thing. If you don't know where you're at, which way they're going to go, graph. Just look. Pretty well, if they're up a creek, they're going to be in one of them little deeper bowls. They're going to be along a channel, channel ledge. They're going to be in one of them areas. As far as in deep water, most of the time they'll be in the mouth of a creek, or they will be in a channel out in the middle of the lake. This winter I watched all the shad come down to Big Palmy. They started way up it. And they just slowly worked their way down until they're down in the big lake now. I mean, they're down around Indian Island, KK Island. They're way down in the main lake. There's nothing hardly up on Big Palmy anymore. I've watched it happen year after year on Big Tebow. The same thing. Them shad will slowly work their way back down the lake. In just massive, massive schools. That's really about all I've got for you on Shad Report this morning. I appreciate it, y'all. Hopefully that helps you out some. Good luck.